Yo,
Whoa,
Morbius.
Justin, what's going on, man?
It's like the music goes off and we're like, where are we?
Yeah, we're like,
What is
what
this
the?
place
Oh,
we're in right now?
I think I wasn't picking my nose or something.
One of these days, yeah, we're gonna
It's
get
gonna
caught.
happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Oh
What's
man,
going
how you
on,
doing, man?
Good. It's Tuesday. It is Tuesday.
Yes, sir. It's that
So
time. It's that time again, and these weeks are flying by. As I was telling you before,
good.
man. I'm enjoying it because can't wait to get back to those weekends and the good times. So, yeah, man. So, anybody watching right now, this is Comic Relief. You guys already know this is episode 11 now,
Wow.
which has been awesome. We've been really killing it, just week on and week on. So,
So,
I put your information in the description below. We're trying to get Morbius up over 100.
please.
So, Morbius, I saw you were recently featured over with Rod Just Rican in his comics. He gave you a shout out
That
on
was
his Sunday
awesome.
show.
That was awesome, man. I really appreciated that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. That is cool, man. Rod's the man.
So a lot of love, a lot of love.
So before we dive into our topic for today, let's bring in our guest because, of course, we always are inviting somebody from the community. So we got my man X Illusionary Comics in the house.
Yeah.
Let's bring him in. What is up, X?
What's going on?
Hey guys, what's going on?
How you doing?
Chilling, brother.
Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys, man. It's a pleasure to be on the show amongst the greats. And
Hell yeah, bro.
I'm ready to discuss whatever you got to discuss, and let's get busy.
So Morbius, Eric here. X is
That's weird. I can't hear Justin though.
You can't hear me? Uh-oh. Mic check 1 2.
You here?
Yeah, I'm here, but I can't hear Justin at all.
Oh wow.
You can hear Morbius? See if he can hear you, Morb.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clear. Perfect.
I'm clear.
Yeah, but
Justin?
I can't.
Oh
Justin.
man.
Oh man. That's weird. I can hear Justin
go back
though.
out and come back in.
Try to-
about that. I don't know.
Try to jump out. Yeah, try to jump out and back in.
Yeah.
Or tell you have to tell him more.
Oh yeah. That's sorry. He's trying to tell you, and I'm like, listening. I'm like, "God, he hear me." So he's like, you need to tell him more. Just jump out and come back in.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. So
It's all good. Let's say a quick hello to the chat while
What's
we're
going on?
while he's getting into this. So we got Travis in the house. Station, my man, was just over on Comic Gories last night with John's Comics with Kids and JP
Right.
Collects. He came in second place, super close to the victory. I was right there with you, Trav, rooting for you, man. Thanks for stopping in. We got John's Comics with Kids in the house as well, saying let's trigger some folks. Our boy Paul, who was just a guest
Paul.
recently. What's up,
What's going on,
PJ?
brother?
Hell yeah. Thanks for stopping in. John said I got my very first Mark Jewelers comic a couple weeks ago, thanks to Captain. Oh, there you go. That's cool.
Wow, that's
Got his
awesome.
first one. Very nice.
Congrats.
We got Michelle in the house as well. Moonlit Comics. Thanks for stopping in. Let's bring X back. X, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you perfectly clear.
All right.
Let's do it.
Make sure. Wait. Can you hear Morbius now? Just want to make sure you hear both of us.
Yes. He almost got me. I was like, oh no, not again.
Oh my God, Morb, you're the best, bro.
That was good. Okay, so we're back in business.
So one thing I wanted to say about Eric here, about X, is Morb. I don't know if you know this, but X Illusionary Comics was the first guest of mine for Comic Collector Origins. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did not know that.
This man right here. Almost a year, X.
Yeah,
X, it's been almost a year, bro.
That's what's up.
Hell yeah, man.
Look at that. Look at how it is. Hold on. We got to toast to that. We got to toast. Let's cheers real quick.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Cheers, guys.
Salute, guys. Salute.
Hell yeah. Good night. What are you drinking there, Eric?
Yeah, man.
You know what? I'll show the bottle. Clase Azul.
Well, that's that fancy stuff right there.
Man,
It's really cool.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's really good tequila.
Okay.
You notice I toned it down with the orange juice. Normally I drink it straight, but I need to be able to focus in this interview.
Yeah, we want to keep the facts straight here.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
The discussion's got to be straight. I don't want to be slurring on the camera, you know.
Exactly.
Justin, what you drinking?
I actually have Maker's Mark, the 46.
Oh, nice,
Oh,
nice.
wow.
Of course. Now you know I always got the Hennessy. So
Nice.
Honestly, that was the second choice. That was the second choice. I was thinking about that, but I'm like, I'm
Can't
not
go
going
wrong.
camera.
So we're just saying a quick hello to the chat here. We'll dive through for a couple other people here. I see Unruly Simeon hanging out with us here.
It's good.
Thanks for stopping in. We got Empire Comics as well. What's goody?
What's
Some
going
Ting
on?
Wong. What's going on, brother?
Salute.
We got my buddy Michael here as well. Sove Collector.
All right.
Appreciate the Moonless. Is good to see you guys. Hello
Always
to the
a
chat.
pleasure.
Happy 4th. Yeah.
Yes.
Happy Star Wars Day, everybody.
Yes.
that
Happy
time.
Star Wars. Even though I
Um,
didn't post any.
It's all right. Still plenty of time in the day there, Morbius. Still plenty of time. Your story was great. You had your daughter in there.
That's what I did. I was like, here you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give you
Some
a
family
story.
stuff.
Some
Yeah.
family stuff.
We got Thomas Jackman in the house. TJ, good to see you,
All
man.
right, what's going on, my brother?
Albert also hanging out with us tonight.
Albert, we got to talk about them cards, man. We got to
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about them
I
cards.
saw that post.
You pulling out cards over here, man.
Oh my
Albert.
God, those were beautiful.
I saw those, man.
Talk about that, man.
Sith Lordly
Sith
from
Lordly.
Spine Ticks in the house.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
guys missed it, Morbius and I were over on Spine Ticks.
Yes.
What was it, a week ago now? Or
Yeah, a
was
week
that 2
ago.
weeks ago? A week ago,
A
yeah.
week ago.
Time's flying by. So yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah,
Sith,
great
appreciate
time.
you having us on, man.
Oh my God, awesome time, bro. Salute.
All right, we got Circumstances also hanging out with us today. What's up, Sarcum? Thanks for stopping in. I think we're all caught up right now. So before we get into this topic, I do want to remind everybody, one, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you are following X Illusionary Comics over on Instagram. This dude is a very busy man, and he's always putting out the heat. So X, appreciate you and all your content you're always doing for the community. Hell yeah. And of course, like I mentioned before, Morbius's link is in the description below as well. So let's get that man over 100 very soon.
Yes.
All right. So Morbius, I'll pass it over to you. What are we talking about here tonight? What's the hot topic?
So we are talking about Mark Jeweler inserts. I saw your story. I saw the emphasis, Justin, in your story. You was like, stop saying Mark Jeweler ads. I kept saying ads.
No, I mean, it's technically an ad. You weren't wrong.
Yeah,
You weren't wrong.
And he was like,
I'll give it
Mark
to you.
Jeweler inserts today on Comic Relief. Morbius.
Capitalize.
Yeah. Morbius. I
love
got it. But no, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about Mark Jeweler inserts.
Yeah.
And we want to take your opinion because I've had people tell me, you know, oh, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? And then you've had, of course, the other side where they're just chasing these books. You know what I mean? They're just, that's what they're sought after. They just want to get Mark Jeweler. So you got both sides of this where people really don't care, really don't see the value, and they say technically an ad.
There you go.
And then,
they are advertisements.
Right. Or as an advertisement. It's like, what's the big deal? And then you have others that, well, that's what make, you know, it's exclusive because there's a story behind it. And they want an exclusivity to them. You know what I mean? So you got both sides of this. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to speak on this. And E, what do you think? What's your take on this?
I always struggle about how I felt about the inserts, not the ads, right? The inserts. It all depends on what type of collector you are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you're a guy that's collecting for a particular exclusive item, then you're going to go after that, right? To complete the run or whatever the case is. Or you just like collector just, you know what? It's not part of the story. There's a story behind it, but it's not part of the actual story that I enjoy. So I don't really care about it. So it depends on the collector. So I myself, I mean, I don't know if you want my personal opinion about it.
Yeah. What's your, where do you stand with this?
Yeah, for sure.
Me, I'm not really crazy about it. Only reason I really do respect it, and I have a feeling because my father's military. So I know that's the story behind it. And I respect it, but I'm probably not inclined to go after every particular one that's released because I like the book itself.
Sure, that's a lot that you'd probably have to go after, but there's so many. And to your point there about the military, I just want to shed some light on that too, because for anybody watching, if you're not familiar, actually, I have a picture. I wanted to just I should bring that up too, just to show if anybody is not familiar with what we're talking about here. Let me bring that up, but. You want Morb? You want to explain a little bit with the military how that ties in?
So basically, there was this was back in like I think it was like mid 70s to like mid 80s where you had, and it was only in newsstand editions, and it was pushed around military bases because at the time, you know, you had the Vietnam War, you know, and people were, you know, you got these young military guys who got these wives or they're getting engaged, meeting women. you know, and they want to marry them or you know, so this was a way to you know, try to get in their pocket, because also these guys were reading books. You know, there's something that they realized that these you know, GIs were actually into comic books. So they figured, why not put this ad in a comic book and just push it around just a selected few, you know, people, which is the military, where these guys are, I mean, all you think about is your girl, you know, that's all you really, you're in the army, you just, that's all you, your family, you know. So
they were the main target,
right?
Knowing that all these guys were reading comics.
That's it, you know, and they hit the market. And there was I think it was over like 600 titles that they hit, you know, but it was still a small percentage. And so that's why you see some titles have more than others. You know, I think I noticed like in I'm sorry, wow, off the top of my head, I just lost it. But Fantastic Four, you rarely see any in Fantastic Four. You're not gonna see that many. But then when you go, you know, look at it, like let's say Master of Kung Fu, Shang-Chi, he has a ton of them, you know. So it you know, it just varied, you know, across the board. But for those who don't know, those are the Mark Jeweler inserts, and definitely, you know, they're sought after items because of that exclusivity. You know, something that
there's only so many.
It's only so many of them, and they only come in newsstand. And of course, we all know everybody wants that newsstand. So that's like that added incentive, added bonus, that you get this newsstand and you get this, you know, exclusive, you know, jewelry insert from. But like that's what, you know, at the end of the day, that's what it is. So even like, you know, even for me, you know, it goes both ways, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is like the best photo I could find, at least from online here. Some of these are a lot smaller, but for anybody who's not familiar, it's basically what you're looking at here is just a bunch of images of jewelry, more specifically rings, but there were like watches and other things like that as well that they had put in here. But yeah, as to what Morbius was saying, they were just trying to take advantage of the market and get their ads in front of individuals who they knew might be shopping for their loved one, you know, who may have been home, and they were strictly, you know, mainly focused around military bases and things like that. And something else I want to add too with what Eric, what you mentioned before was for this, while it doesn't affect the story, it does provide a story about that one particular comic book. And I wanted to touch a little bit more on this because I like how you phrase that. And it definitely, these are in that way, they give a story about where this comic book came from, you know, very unique to what another comic of the same sort might not have gone through, because they didn't have these inserts. They might not have been part of, you know, the military era, or, you know, in that area. So it is cool. It's kind of like the stamps, you know, and I know we talked a little bit about that on the past episode too, but kind of like those date stamps, you know, it's like, for me personally, I think they're kind of cool. Like let's put it this way. For me, if I can find it, if I find one in the wild, if I see it, or if I'm buying something and you know, it doesn't say that it's Mark Jewelers on it, but I discover it for myself, I'll buy it. You know, I think it's pretty cool, you know, for a reasonable price, of course. Now, I'm not, and as Eric, is what you were saying, I'm not really one to necessarily go out of my way to, like, you know, chase these down. I don't go on eBay and specifically look up, like, you know, Mark Jewelers, I only want this. It's not like that for me, but you know, if I'm in the wild, if I come across it, and again, if it's for like if it's for a regular price or whatever that you know, whatever that issue is normally, then I would certainly try to pick it up if I could.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. What you think, E?
Going back to that part about the scarcity of it, right? There's only a certain amount of them out there, and when it comes to the value of it, not because just not so much the story, but the quality of it. Like if you find one that's in really good condition, it will be worth a lot of money, because you figure that with the military, right? They handle those books a lot. They read them, right? So those books got damaged per se, right? So if you find one in the wild and it's got really, you know, nice condition, it could go for way more than the average book. So that's why I think people are really on the hunt for it. So, like, to be honest, I almost bought into it at one point in my mind. I was like, you know what?
I think we all did, bro.
Then I thought about it in my mind. I'm like, all right, you know what? It's going to be tough. So it's not like I've given up, but like I said, I thought about it for a second, because, you know, they're very hard to find in the best condition. Very hard. Yeah. And that's why they can sell over the average price. That is true. Always.
Definitely.
Quick hello to Scheme Richards hanging out with us in the chat.
Scheme. Steve
Steve
Richards.
in the building.
We had Tomorrow Cinema also hanging out with us. What up, Manuel?
What's good, my brother?
And Jay Ramirez, J2, who was also hanging out with us over at Spine Ticks last week.
What's good, homie?
Just wanted to highlight a couple people here. Apologize if I missed anybody. Keep those comments going. I'll make sure to hit you up.
Definitely. Thank you, guys. Yeah, man. Well, I mean, for me, I do own a few, Mark Jewelers, and in the beginning, I didn't care. Like maybe like I'm gonna say 10 years ago, 10 years ago, I would say, is when it really started to like, oh, Mark Jeweler, inserts, and it's like
people started talking about him more.
You know what I mean? Yeah, people started talking about it, and it's like, okay, but before that, nobody gave a hell about them, inserts. Nobody cared about them. Nobody. So it was weird because as you're growing up with it, you're just like, oh, what's this about? And like he said, I got caught up in it, and I started looking for them, chasing them, and then I'm like, what am I doing? Let me fall back. It's better actually when you buy a comic book and you're like, oh, you find something in the wild and you're like, it's a Mark Jeweler. Like that's even better.
Right? That's a good feeling.
That's dope because you're not buying it for that. That's just that little extra.
It's a little extra
bonus. You know what I mean? That you get when you buy the book. So
and especially if it's not priced to be like that. Like if the seller didn't even know. Which I've had that opportunity where I grabbed the one here. I only own two altogether, and one of them I bought. Yeah, if you have one, grab it.
I got one right here. I got one.
Let me just I'm gonna blow myself up here for a sec. So so this was my very first one that I ever bought. I bought this on Instagram, X-Men 114, and obviously I was just trying to get it to fulfill my Byrne and Claremont run. So I was really happy to get this particular issue and find out. So I bought this on Instagram. Let's see, I had put the price down, $20. This was June of last year. Nice. I always put I should show this. I always put like some notes on the back, where I bought it, who I bought it from. So this was from my buddy Michael, MJT Comics over on Instagram. And so this is, Claremont, John Byrne. I put a little asterisk, Mark Jewelers insert here. Also, this is the first time that we get Uncanny in the actual title for Uncanny X-Men. So some little cool keys about it. But for me, he had it priced $20. I bought it just to buy. I just wanted to get it. It was a good deal, especially nowadays. X-Men books are all going up. So sure enough, when it gets home, one thing I always do is, and it's funny because I just put up a video about going digital, reading comic books digitally. But one thing I always do with a lot of these older books, I like to flip through them at least one time. Exactly. I like to just go through them and for a couple of reasons. One, to just admire the actual artwork and by the naked eye, but also to make sure there's no damages, there's nothing missing or anything like that. And then, of course, like you were saying, Morbius, you get that little extra, a little surprise where I'm like, oh, what's this little extra fold in here? It was like a little thicker than a normal book. Right. And sure enough, I'm like, wow, dude. So that was one, and I have one more, but I'll show it after. More if you have one that you want to.
Yeah, I got one here real quick. That's it's part of my Captain Marvel collection.
Oh,
so
nice.
What number is that?
33.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Very nice. So you got Thanos, with Captain Marvel. It's like, So I got this. I want to say, roughly like 18 years ago, and I bought this. Simple. I think it was like $8, something like that. And I had no idea at that time when I got it. I found out I had this maybe, I don't know, a few months ago.
Yeah.
This is brand new to me. Like I had no clue because I was going through the comic books, organizing, looking for stuff to post, the usual.
Yep.
And I go and pull this out and I was just like, oh, snap. Like I thought it was double back. I'm like, yo, did I like put two backboards in this or something?
Right.
I was just like, yo, why it feels so stiff?
A little extra, yeah.
Right. And so when I looked down on it, I was like, oh, there it is.
Like a little kid at a candy store, man. It's a golden ticket.
Got one. So to be honest with you guys, like I only have a small few that is not crazy, you know what I mean? But this was one of those that I didn't like buy for having the insert. So this one right here is dope. And FYI, I'll be posting this on Thursday for Throwdown Thursday.
There you go. Nice. That's a perfect combo right there. I wanted to highlight a couple things here in the chat. Louis Logic, he said, this is a cool group. Comic community is the most welcoming community that I've ever been a part of. You all rock.
Awesome.
Louis, we appreciate the kind words,
Thank
man.
you
And,
so
and
much
you're
for
right.
the kind words,
This is a great community,
awesome.
and you know, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere you're at, it's always a good group.
Definitely.
So, also my man Alec is in the house as well. White Whale Comics, good to see you, Alec. Thanks for stopping in here.
Thank you for coming through.
And then let's see. Louis said, I got a Google sheet for all my comics, price, fair market value, where I bought it, and anything else related. Oh, okay, yeah, talking about like how I put the notes on the back.
Right.
You know, it's cool because
It is.
yeah, you forget, and you know, obviously 20 years from now, I'm not gonna remember any of those details, so
exactly.
I'll be like, oh, that's right, I bought it from here.
Good idea.
This makes it fun. It does add a little extra work, but it's you know, it's worth it. I keep it short. Oh, we got Steve in the house. What up, Steve?
Oh, what's going on, Big Steve? Yo, just real quick. I know I don't want to change up the story. This is
no, you're good.
Wish I was, but just want to say, may the fourth be with you.
Hey.
Oh, may the fourth be with you. Nice.
May the fourth be with you. You know what I mean?
I love
Let's
it.
keep it going. Let's keep it going. May the fourth be with you. Let's keep it going.
Damn. More of all the fire over here.
Hold on. Where we at? Let's go with the last one. The fourth.
Oh, that was epic.
Some big books there.
You know.
Oh, where's that peach? Yo.
It's right here. He's the peach momoko. Oh, you really want me to pull that peach out now?
Hey, it's perfect for today. That's all I'm saying.
You know, you wouldn't have me. Yo, I didn't even know this was like the first Darth Vader and Luke meeting. The first time.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I had no clue. I got this because the dope ass cover.
Hell yeah.
But I had no clue.
We got Roscoe in the house. What up,
a lot
Roscoe?
of gems right there.
Hell yeah. This man's got it all, man.
He's the peach momoko right here. Here you go.
There it is. Bam, bam, bam.
Wow.
And now this is what I was gonna say. Another thing I found out. This is the first time Mandalorian was mentioned. They were the first time they were talked about the Mandalorians.
That's right.
No clue. All new
It's
stuff.
a big book. That's a big book in general.
Issues.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Trav. Appreciate that. Smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subbed up to Morbius and NX Illusionary Comics. Put his information in there.
Man up over here. Hit this man up right here.
Yep. I didn't X. I don't know. Do you have anything that you wanted or that do you own any yourself? Anything that you
actually,
have?
To be honest, I have an X-Men 100 Mark Julius somewhere around here.
Whoa, that's a book I'm still trying to hunt down regular copies. So
I know it's funny though. I was trying to be prepared for the show when I got in. I know it's in a long box somewhere, but I have an X-Men 100.
Dude,
nice.
I thought you come on, you could just like reach to your right or left and pull
You'd be
out
surprised.
like X-Men #1 and then you pull out
I very organized my
Fantastic
stuff.
4, 52 from right here and just be like, here you go, guys.
I just
You'd be like, oh, what's
this room.
this?
I have more shirts. I have more shirts organized in my comics right now, and I moved a lot of stuff in storage. So I have certain books here that are in a certain order, but I know that's somewhere around it. I just it's not in the same order I wanted to have it in.
Gotcha.
It's definitely here because I remember having that book for years.
So when you had, so you're saying you have issue 100. Did you specifically buy it? Did you know that it was a Mark Jewelers insert, or were you buying it? Like, what was the deal with that? How did you come across that book?
Want to hear a story about that?
Yeah.
I met a guy that was selling comics. Okay, and he happened to have that issue. I flipped through it and I saw it, and I was like, oh wow. I knew that was really a big one, so I took it right off his hands.
Did he know? He didn't realize, or
I don't think he really realized. And I told him, he's like, "No, you know what? It is the price it is. I priced it at." He was a very fair guy, and I respected that too. And it was a nice, decent grade too. So, I know it goes for a lot, and then that grade, it was at least a 9 too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Damn.
So I've never subbed it. You know why? And this goes with something I agree with Morbius about. Right? Certain books you will slab, and in certain books I won't slab. That I get more enjoyment in seeing the fact that it's in there. If I slab it, I'll know it's on the label, you know. But and this one, I think it had something on the front of it, like a little thing on the corner where the price thing was.
Okay.
This one was like I didn't want to do anything with it. I just want to leave it just the way it is. I put I put it in a nice mylar and some strong backing boards. One of those they call fullbacks.
The fullbacks.
I just learned just like that. So.
Yeah, for something like this, I think it makes more sense to keep it out of a slab. Just like like you're saying, like the point of it is, it's in there. It's like you want to, it's like you won't be able to tell if you get it sealed up, you'll never actually be able to tell. I mean, obviously they write it on there, but it's not the same.
Totally agree. And also, like if someone wanted to ask me, I can just pull it out and say, here's the story behind it. This is what it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Slab, what am I going to do? Crack it open.
It take a lot of work.
They might not understand it. They'll see it on the label.
Did someone say crack a slab?
I was say you can send it to Morb. He'll crack it.
Send it to me. I'll crack the shit out of that.
I wanted to highlight. Jay Ramirez said, "I don't think I've ever owned a Mark Jewelers insert throughout the collection." Yeah, it's definitely not. I mean, like we're saying, like they're rare for sure.
Yeah,
And up until recent, I didn't have any either. It was literally last June that I got the one, and the other one I was going to show. I just put it up here. It's Miss Marvel. I actually got this from Mercy Collectibles. He sent this to me as an AOK, so that was really really nice of him.
Major, bro.
So this was October.
Wow.
Looking back, so Andres, he AOK'd it to me. It was Mercy Collectibles. He's over in Sweden, by the way. So shout out to Mercy. He's probably sleeping right now. But yeah, so this is Cockrum doing the artwork, Claremont on the writing, and obviously the first Mystique. So
wow, that's amazing.
That was a special one. But to what Jay Ramirez is saying, like, dude, I was in the same boat, man. I didn't know forever. I mean, I always heard people talk about this, but I never came across it. I thought that they were, they're rare. They're definitely rare. And if you stumble across one, great. I mean, sure, you could go online like we were talking about. You could try to buy one on eBay or whatever, but you're gonna pay. I think that book right there, I think the price is like 3 or 4 times the price of what a regular one is. You know, if it's graded, depending on the grade and all that. Exactly. But so you are going to pay a pretty penny if you go out of your way for it. But hearing stories like what both of you guys have shared, just kind of finding out in the wild, it's always
awesome, man.
A pleasant surprise.
Best feeling ever, man. But you're not. That's one thing that I'm not chasing them. You know what I mean? That was like in the early beginning stages.
Yeah, you just came across it.
Yeah, you got on it. I picked up like maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 20, 30, 50. No, I'm just fucking around. No. But you picked up some books, and it's like, and then after a while, you realize like, I shouldn't not be paying this much money for just that. You know what I mean? For just an ad, I get it, but it is rare, it is unique, and it's cool and all. Like he was saying earlier, it doesn't add it or take away from the story. Right. It has nothing to do with the book at all. You can remove that, and it just contains the same value. Well, not as much, but it will still retain its its normal value. So it's like, but then again, it's rare. It's cool. It's like a treasure hunt. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like a comic book treasure hunt.
Yeah, more fun.
Out there in the wild, you digging, through the books, and you just come up with that, and you're like, yo, I don't even care what book it is. It could be something that you're not reading, you've never read, never cared to even read or even look at. If it has a jeweler in there, you'll be like, yo, I'm buying this. How much is it? $2? I'll take it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just because of that little treasure inside. Like you just got lucky, like a little
And here's Jay Ramirez saying, I'm all about the thrill of the hunt. He says, I flipped through some pages and boom, it's going to happen one day, bro. Yeah, absolutely, man. 100%. PJ said, they're cool, but I don't think I'd pay extra for it on a book if I was looking for it. Yeah, same here. Right, exactly. I don't think I'd go out of my way to overdo it. But we got Nigel in the house. What's up, Desired Comics?
Big Nige.
Had him on last week as a surprise. Yes, had no idea.
Surprise guest. He was like,
X, did you? I don't know, Eric. I don't know if you saw last week, but we had last week we had Steve on from Hip Hops and Me, and he was our guest. And out of nowhere, Morbius turns the corner, and literally Desired Comics is sitting in his room with him as a surprise. I had no idea this man was hanging out with him.
He was up in the crib.
Yeah, man. I gotta go watch it.
Dude, they had me, man. My face, I was like,
hell yeah.
What?
I was like, what?
How cool is
it? Was
that?
funny
Get someone else
shout out to
as a feature guest appearance, right?
Yeah, man. It was dope. He travels a lot, so he was in the area.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, he just came through. It was perfect time. It was a Tuesday. I was like, why not?
Yeah.
Let's do this. You know what I mean? It's only right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Nige. You had a great time, man. I had a great time. Woke up with a hangover.
But I saw Hip Hop TV one day. He was on. Wasn't he on one of your? He was on one of your interviews as well. I saw that.
I did have him as an interview, and last week we had him on as a guest here.
Yep.
And speaking of, here he is. He says that was the dopest moment, my brothers. Yeah, man. That was a good time. I wanted to also highlight here, and I don't, we don't have to go too much into this angle because I know we talked about this in a past episode. But Louis said, the more I think about it, I like my books better raw. Slabs are cool, but it alienates the interior art, which is so important to me. Yeah, and that kind of goes to what Eric was saying in the beginning. Is a lot of it depends on what kind of collector you are, what your goals are. What do these inserts mean to you?
Right.
It certainly can provide a story for you, but at the same time, if you don't want to, unless we're talking about, unless you find it, in the wild, you don't want to necessarily go out of your way to pay that extra money just to have it in stock.
It's not worth it. I don't think it's worth it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And please, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's great, but guys, it's worth it when you find it on the hunt than going on eBay and paying, $50 for a $15 book or a $20 book. It's not worth it, man. And you're paying shipping, so and
True.
tax
Adds up.
All that shit adds up. So it's not worth it. Don't pick it up.
X, do you have any other just off the top of your head? Do you have like more than one, or is that the only one that you have from your collection?
I used to have I'm trying to think of what other books I had. I think I had another book. It was a Bettery Bill, I think, Mark Jewelers.
Oh,
okay. I sold that. I should have kept it, but like I said, I wasn't really big on it.
Sure.
I had that one. That was the only one I had. I really didn't go after them, One of my friends had a lot of them, and he was really going after them, but I just couldn't see myself do it. Personally, I felt like it was going to create more stress for myself trying to find them.
Yeah,
True.
Totally.
It's supposed to be fun, not stressful.
Right.
Yeah,
if you're feeling stressed out about it.
Yeah,
some people enjoy the thrill, and I just couldn't.
That's
do
true.
It,
Yeah, man, for real. Definitely, man. Well, I mean, hey, to each his own. That's what we always say. Everybody has their way of collecting. You collect what you like. You collect how you feel. It makes you feel good. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's the way route you want to go that route. We already went into it with slabbers and raw guys, which and that was fun. And that episode, definitely go check that one out, slabs versus raw. But yeah, man, everybody has their way of doing things, and something that we support is that individualism of how you want to collect. And definitely doing it when you're on here in the community. Of course, we always want to keep it positive. We always want to keep the energy in the right direction and support each other as much as we can. But of course, you always have those rotten apples, and things that go on. But at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Just being you. Collect what you like. You want the Mark Jewelers, you go get them. You want them slabs, go get them. That's what. Who cares? But the thing about it is, with the Mark Jewelers, I just find them like a novelty. I like them. It's like a cool novelty. It's like it's like one of those things that wherever you go somewhere, you wish you could just grab one, take one with you, like a little souvenir. Like that's like a souvenir. Grab a little souvenir. I go to this LC. Local comic shop, and then I'm like, yo, I'm gonna grab that. Boom, that's dope. I found it hunting. I was here for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I found a little jeweler. That's pretty dope. That's a great feeling, So, but I think that definitely there, man. Anybody else who's out there and is wondering about this, there you go. We hope we gave you a good lesson today about Mark.
Nigel here says. Nigel says, I'm a fan of Mark Jewelers. I acquired several of them before they became popular. Just like anything else, you got to be early to the party.
Yeah. Well, definitely.
You can jump on it early.
Yeah, especially if you know there is a party. That makes it even better when you actually know what you got.
Well, I find it interesting more how you were saying like 10 years ago is when you feel like you started to notice people talk a little bit more about it.
People were talking about it.
But before that, it was like nothing.
Before, nobody cared about it. When we were growing up, reading them, nobody was really like, am I wrong? Like when we were kids growing up, ain't nobody was really like, oh shit, the ad, Mark Jeweler, like, yo, you gotta get this. It was not like that. You just read it and you was like, oh, okay, it's a cool, big ass ad in here. All right, whatever. Next. And you start reading. Nobody give a fuck about them. But it's just like I said, it must have been like maybe like 10, maybe a little more than that, a few years, that people really started going after them, chasing them, and then the story started coming out.
Right.
Why are they so rare? What's the the dopeness about them? And man. So it was really interesting,
Steve just subbed you up.
Yeah, man. So
Eric, over on Instagram.
From your background, growing up,
Desired to.
Yeah, shout out, man.
Thank you guys.
He said shout out to X.
Yo, for
But
real.
I agree with Morbius is saying,
right there,
like, it kind of goes to this, like, say you collected every Silver Age book and every title you're collecting, let's say you got the full run, that also became a new kind of hobby to them. So people that probably got not bored with it per se, but they kind of said, oh, wait, this is something different now. Then they take that up now. So like I said, it's like, that's why I respect it too. It's different, you know? That's why I never probably sold mine. I respect it still. So I'm not going crazy after them, but I respect it. And knowing I have it, I'm not getting rid of it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You know, I mean, that's how it is. And, you know, and it's cool. Like we said, it's cool. I really don't know too many people who dislike them in the sense that they're like, man, fuck them, that damn, you know, but like, I have never really met somebody who's that adamant about not caring about a Mark Jr. Like,
yeah, I would say it doesn't affect the market in
like
that way, really.
I mean, we get it. Yeah, it's kind of like, that
it's just that
you're charging me so much for an ad, or I'm sorry, an insert.
Right. Like if that's the case, if they don't like it, then it's like I would just. I mean, let's say if I actively didn't want these in my books, then I saw one, but a guy was like, "Oh, I have to charge you ×3 because it's got the insert." Then I would just say I would just pass my business along to someone who had a regular copy. That's all. If it didn't mean nothing to me, you know. David said he's not a fan of Mark Jewelry inserts either. So Michael says, hurry up and get those 30 and 35-cent variants. They're next.
Word.
Oh yeah, that's another
or the Canadian variants.
Right.
The Canadian variant.
What's up, C3?
Picked up one.
The 30 and 35s. Wow. That's like that's super rare. Like those.
I don't get into that.
I don't get that.
It's too much.
I don't do that.
I think
it's the same thing. It's like if I find it by accident, then cool, but I won't pay the extra pretty penny.
I'm not chasing that.
Same with like the Pence covers or Pence variants, things like that.
Right.
I like the stamps. I know we talked a little bit about the stamps before. I'll take the date stamps because it does give a story.
Cool. When I see the star, the military stamps,
the star. That's right.
Those are cool too. I like those. Those are pretty cool.
Oh, or the subscription crease.
Right. Yeah.
The creases in it. I'll actually. I like those because that gives a story too. If that they're folded up, obviously you get a crease, but
it has to depend what book it is too. For me, you know what I mean. It just depends on that right book. When you see that book and then it has that like stamp on it or something that you're like, man, this shit is ill. Like I could imagine the story behind this, like where it came from.
Yours.
But yeah, man, I think those oddities, those like nuances, is what makes it so dope when you pull the book out and you show it to somebody. Like, let's say like when Nigel was here, man, we had a dope time. Like I'm just pulling out books and books that have stories with them, and it was just like, yo, oh yeah, that's right, I got this such, or this book, or it has this, and we just had a great old time, just going reminiscing about stuff.
Right.
But like I feel like that's what is, that's the true essence of it. When you want to go that route and you want to, or I mean, you got people who despise that, who like, man, get that shit out of here. Like I am not buying that shit with no mark on the car. I don't put nothing on it. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? If that's
your preference.
That's your preference. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But like for us, we enjoy those little bonuses on them because they come with a story, and I think that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? You it's just something that you when you talk to somebody, it's not like, oh, what's about this? Yo, it's 1,500. Yeah, okay. And then what about this? Yo, this is 1,200 and it just went up to 1,600 about 2 days ago on eBay. You saw the last sold. You know how much it sold for? You saw how much it sold for? This right here is 2,500, son. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and you're like, right, cool. Well, you know what's up with this right here? This is $5. And my man, the John Burns, look at this, man. And the storyline in this shit, yo, the next book. Oh my, and you're like, it's crazy. Like
Morbius, you could be a vendor, man. You could be a seller right there. You could be on the. I just picture you at like a Comic-Con, like selling books.
1,500. For you, my friend, 1,000.
I wanted to say, chat here says, talk about a lot of trouble in the same pick. Glad to see you guys. Appreciate you, chat. Thanks for swinging by, man.
Thank you so much.
What's going on?
We had another one here. Where'd it go? Scheme was saying dealer at a show had a Captain America price variant. Wanted a little too much. Yeah, I mean,
right. That's exactly that. And that's where you get turned off at. That's where I get turned off at.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably pretty sure you're in agreement there that whole, jacking up the price. It's just, I feel it's not necessary, man. Like, as much as they're doing it, it's like, come on, like, I could get you, it's an incentive, it's like, well, they're calling it a variant. That's another thing. Now they're calling that a variant. So if that issue has a Mark Jewler insert, it's considered a variant issue, which is like interesting to me, because that I did, that was something new to me that I learned not too long ago. I was just like, what? Like, it's a variant now?
Yeah.
Like, so I was just bugging off that. So that's pretty interesting.
You mean both. I was bugging off that too. I'm just trying to think, like, I mean, even for the new collectors, like, they know what a variant is, right? A variant is a different cover per se, right?
Right.
And then we got the Mark Jewler variant because it has an insert. It's a variant, so I don't know. Like, it got me there. I was just
right. That's where that's how I see it too. It's
I think we're used to. I think we're used to applying the word variant to covers. I mean, that like we take it for, we just like think of variants and we just think of covers, but technically, like, the term would be a variant cover. Like, we're referencing the cover in that use of it, but technically any of them are variant. It's a variant of that book per se. So it technically fits, but I agree with you guys. Like, mentally, my mind was more of like thinking of the cover specifically.
Right. And you think about it, and it's like a play on words. I get it. It's a play on words. They're trying to say, because there's a let's say, something that's different about the book, but that's not necessarily it's the cover, it's inside the book, so it becomes like a variant. But at the same time, to me, it's like, it kind of it goes against logic. In my head, it's like, okay, it's not really it's not a variant. Like, I wouldn't call it a variant per se. You know what I mean? Because it has nothing to do with the story, with the artwork, with the book. Nothing. It's just an ad inside the book. So that would be the argument right there. You know what I mean? When it goes to be called a variant, or being just called an exclusive or a rare book. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at, with that term when they call it a variant. I don't know. Anybody in the chat like feel a certain way? Because
Desired said he agrees with Morbius. He said all those oddities will be rising soon. Everything rare will take its turn in line to skyrocket. I think he was referencing from a little earlier ago, but yeah. And then Chet also saying, he said, not only is this book signed, quote unquote, not only is this book signed, it was it was breathed on by Stan Lee before grading, raising the value $2,000 just because Stan Lee breathed on it. There you
go. all the ones with his DNA. All the ones with his DNA.
Right.
That's what I was saying. I was telling Nigel that, because Nigel was like, yeah, I got this book and it's like quadruple signed, and and it got this, and I'm like, what else you got in there? Like a Stan Lee's pinky, like it's stuffed inside the slab. Like, what else you got? But yeah, man. I mean, definitely, this is it's you can look at it in so many ways. When you're chasing these Mark Jewlers, it just, like I said, man. As long as you're having fun, as long as you're having a good time, go right ahead. If you could afford it, go for it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's all you. But I'll be chilling over here. That's what I was thinking. What do you think, E? What do you think? I see you contemplating.
I look at the Mark Jewlers kind of like, for example, back in the day when you're a young kid, right? You eat a box of Cheerios per se, or Fruit Loops, and you open the box and you find a magical thing at the bottom, right? A little card or something like that. That's what kind of looked like the Mark Jewlers, kind of like you find a little prize at the bottom of the box, right? So some people just thrill that, and that's kind of what I had in my mindset too, a little bit, like, oh, I found an insert, but like I said, I'm not big on it, but some people really view it that way. So it's like, that's the kicker.
Right.
That little surprise at the bottom of the box.
now when you're talking about cereal boxes now, and I see Chet's comment here saying his pinky. Now I just think about, oh, that'd be nasty if I found a pinky in a cereal box. Especially after you ate it already. Oh no.
Yeah, pinky cereal.
I wanted to highlight here, David saying these people with second print and these Mark Jewler inserts might be low print and hard to find, but always remember the first print is the one to get. Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to kind of what we're all saying, where it's like it's your preference, it's what you're after. If you're specifically after these, then that's the one to get. I mean, for your personal collection, if you're someone who likes to go out of their way to try to find these little unique variants of all these books, then technically that would be the one to get, but for someone, David, like what you're saying here, maybe the first print is the print for you. You're not wrong either.
Right, you're not wrong at all. I mean, you got guys who chase everything but that, so they chase the variant, and won't even bother with the first print, but that's what they like. So
Albert, he says, is it me or does it sound like someone's typing a novel in the background? We are getting some, so I don't know if it's feedback.
We hear it. We're just
it's like
I didn't know what that was.
That don't worry about it. It's you know what it is. Our show is so dope that you have typists right now. The FBI is recording everything we say. Because they're like, these guys are so phenomenal, and they got E right now. And E, I heard about your record. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Hey, chill, fam.
that reminds me. I have a new clip. I gotta show this clip. This is great. It's kind of just reminded me of it. But
everybody, just calm down. Count of 3. We're all gonna put down our guns. I have crossbows. We'll put down our weaponry on the count of 3. Okay. You ready? I'm ready. 1, 2, 3. Yeah!
Eric, I've been having fun with these clips, man, because I upgraded my StreamYard on YouTube, and so I've been able to throw some random clips up once in a while. So I was just having some fun. I had to throw that in there.
That's awesome. That's a classic, man. Office classic. But yeah, man, this is awesome, man. What else we got in the chat?
Moonlit was talking about, she just noticed the typing as well. We got K Crash in the house. What's going on, Crash?
What's going on, Crash?
Crash said the term variant is so popular now that it only makes sense call the books with modular inserts variants. So that's maybe that's where it comes from.
That's right. If you want to look at it from that perspective, where now everything is considered variants, as far as like a rarity or something that's different, I could see that, I could definitely see that. But then in the other side, you got the, it's technically not, because it's an ad. What I mean? It's just an ad. It's not like something that's done to the book, the story.
Technically, they'll all be variants then, if because they all have ads in them.
And they all had ads, right? Exactly.
Different types of ads.
If you look at it from that point of view, that changed the perspective. But
Moonlit was asking if there's a list. You guys know if there's a list?
There should be a list. I believe there is one online. It's like one of those Wikipedia.
Got to throw it in Google.
Yeah, you just got to hit the Google and
somebody put it together. Yeah,
somebody put it together. You'll see it. I did see it.
He said, Crash said, in the collecting world, anything rare has a value. Books with modular inserts are rare.
Exactly. It's rare.
It's a unique thing.
No one, definitely. That's something we're all in agreement. It is a rare book.
Yep. Nigel says, I find those modulars and other oddities cheap half the time. Be patient and aware. Yeah, totally. And I think that goes to all our points. What we're saying is don't necessarily go out of your way to pay this extra money for these things. If you can find it in the wild, that's awesome. It's a plus. It's an extra. But otherwise, you got people who are going to try to jack up the prices like crazy, knowing that's that special.
And guys, remember, if you don't know, and for those who do know, beautiful, but you could kind of see the ad from on top of the book. So when you're going through the digging, you know what I'm saying?
Good point.
Yes, you can see the ad like a blue little, or
it's like a dark shade.
Right,
it's like
a dark shade. Either it's black or grayish or blue, and you'll see it running across the top of the comic book as you're looking down. As like, let's say you're digging in boxes, and that's a quick way to catch it when you're clicking through the box. Just look for that. When you see some type of strip color or something, stop, pull it out, open it up. You know what I mean? And you might have yourself a Mark Jeweler insert.
Yep.
So
it's a great point. Chet says, X don't know what that sound because his drink makes him think he's flying on an airplane. So there's no noise.
I for a second there, I was like, it's probably just me because no one else is saying anything. So I'm not gonna say anything. We're just gonna keep this going.
I legit thought that X was typing. Like I thought he's here working like two. I'm like, man, he's doing a show and he's typing. Like this man is hustling right now, man.
This dude is no joke. He's doing like 3 raffles right now. He's just like...
You know what's so funny? I was adjusting the sound nonstop, trying to figure out how to fix it. I didn't know what the whole time. I'm hitting the up, down, and down. I'm adjusting the sound up and down. I'm like, how can I fix this problem? And then I'm glad someone says it, because I didn't know.
I know. It's like perfect. Thank you, Chad.
Oh gosh. Bill here. What's up, Bill? He says great tip. Talking about what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, man, for sure.
Yep. Let's see. David says DC logo variant, second print variant with the same effing cover of the first print. People are paying stupid money. Amazes me. Yeah, for second prints, and that's probably a good topic at some point to cover. Is talking about these second prints and third prints and how some might cost. Some of these go more than the first prints in some cases.
I mean, you got
certain circumstances. I mean, it's situations different for every book,
right? Everything, because I mean, you got some like 8th prints that are going for money. You got 5th prints. You got 3rd prints that were big for a little while. Like, people were starting to like really focus on the 3rd print because for some reason, you had the Venom. You had so many 3rd prints that were coming.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy 3rd print.
2017, 2018.
That first null.
That first null. That third print. Yo, my God, it's ridiculous now.
Especially signed. I seen that CGC 9.8 signed.
Ridiculous. Bro.
Reno's Comics in the house. What up, Reno's? We got 16 people in here right now. Appreciate all you guys hanging out with us.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
We actually just hit the 5-minute mark here, which is kind of perfect timing. So
word. So
we want
the person who's typing, it must be tired by now.
They got to be tired. Yeah, they're running out of words here. So, Eric, we like to give a little platform for our guests here in these last few minutes. So, if you want to just highlight anything you have coming up or where they can find you, we'll give you the floor here.
Well, I guess people can find me on Instagram, Exclusionary Comics. I have like big books up on my page. There's AF15 5.5, CGC 5.5. So you want to go up there and see that, and become lucky to probably acquire that book. That's where you'll find me. Exclusionary Comics, and I'll be doing a live unboxing tonight. So if you want to see me slabs, I just got in. I got 16 books in, so I'm doing an unboxing soon, so you guys can see what came in and what my opinion is about the books.
Nice, very nice. Are you doing any? I know every once in a while you have guests on your own Instagram account when you guys are doing like you do a live stream. You talk with like Nick or some of the other guys that that have either big books or just tips and tricks to talk about. You doing anything like that coming up soon?
Yeah. Matter of fact, Morbius is coming up soon. He's supposed to be my show. I don't know if he remembers.
Yes, I do.
There you go.
I just had if you go on my page and you look on the IG TV page, you'll see my live streams. You'll find people like Gem Mint Collectibles. You'll find people like Omaha CGC Comics from Nebraska. Very been a collector for a long time. Silver Age collector books. Nice. Pretty much I interview random people on the page, and they pretty much bring to light whatever they collect and what got them into collecting, and then do a little bio. It's kind of like what Justin does, No Good does, his platform, and we discuss interesting topics. Sometimes one time I did one with the color touch and stuff. We talked about that.
Oh, there you go.
Look for in the books.
That's a good topic.
Black light. Morbius talked about that before in one of his interviews. Have a black light ready for you every time you're buying a raw book, especially if it's a black cover. You want to have those available. There it goes. So I talk about that.
Dude, I love. I goes back for me. Brings me back to when you interviewed Nick, and I know you've had Nick on several times, but you guys were you had so much information that was helping me because I was new. I mean, I'm still new, but like I was very new at the time, and so all these little things you touched on, I highly recommend anybody who's not already following X, make sure that you are over on Instagram because X, you are always putting together some fire and even just your hangout sessions, man. I know you were just hitting up some shops recently. You were going live, showing off some of the shops and things like that. So it's always a good time, man. I love the content you're putting out there.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Always.
Absolutely.
How long have you been like selling comic books?
I probably got into it like 2016, 15 maybe. I probably started around then, but I really started selling.
It's crazy because it's really not that long.
Like in just randomly like out in the streets, or it was like on IG from day one. Like,
I mean, everyone's did their little fair share on eBay. But in IG, I got into like 2015, 2016. funny thing about it, the first thing I did is I actually sold raw books for a long time.
Wow.
I started out with signature series. That's what I did. Because I used to get a lot of books signed, and I had a lot of signed books, like stacks of them. And I was like, all right, let's try something different. And people liked them, and they bought them. But it was really an interesting thing to do, because I didn't see a lot of people selling signed books. I just saw raw books, and that's it. But I was like, you know what? Let me try something different. And people appreciated it. You would think people wouldn't go for it, because a lot of people are stuck on, I'm buying a book that's signed already. It has no value to it. That's not really true.
Right.
My opinion is that if the book has a signature, depending on which one it is, or signature in general, it's getting scarcer now, right? So it depends on what you like to collect too. Signature series, raw signature books, or signature slabs. So it's depending on what you like. But I did that for a while,
Nice. We got Reno's here. Said he just followed you as we speak. Had a couple people in here. Chet said he's following you now. A couple other people reaching out. So
appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, I wanted to ask you too, real quick. Are you planning on going to the Terrificon Comic-Con coming up in Connecticut in July?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Yes, my man. We'll be there. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me and my girlfriend got rooms for Friday into Sunday. So we'll be there. We'll drive up Friday night, but we'll definitely have to meet up, man. Maybe grab dinner or something. That'd be dope.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's happening. That is happening.
It's gonna be crazy, bro. There's gonna be so many people. Everybody's gonna know everybody because it's like Instagram and everything brought everybody together. Oh my gosh.
We'll have a good time. That's dope. Can't wait, man. Can't wait.
Paul says X is the man. First met up at the Rhode Island Comic-Con a few years back.
Oh,
PJ.
Yeah.
Right, he's right. That's right.
That's dope.
Me and Paul actually met on Facebook first, and then we met in person at Terrificon, Rhode Island Con, and we had a great time.
Nice.
Great time.
Yeah, see, look at that. That's
community coming together, man. Community coming together.
Gotta love the community.
All right, guys. We got to wrap it up here. Yes. Appreciate everybody. We have 15 people still hanging out with us. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're following this man over here over on his YouTube channel, Morbius Comics. And of course, I put his Instagram account in there as well. We're trying to get Morbius over 100. So let's make that push.
Almost there, guys. So
hell yeah.
Almost there, man.
And then we got, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, and I was saying, for anybody who's not following Eric, Exclusionary Comics, make sure you follow him. I put his information in the description below. And as we're all talking about, we'll be at Terrificon at some point, so we'll catch everybody that's planning on going. There's Desire. Nigel saying he'll be there. That's dope.
There you go. We're all gonna be there. Come through, y'all. Make sure
Chet too. Oh no, Chet's gonna be there too. This is dope.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be a good time, man. It's gonna be a good time.
Have fun, bro.
Cool.
But yeah, man, once again, thank you everybody who's in the chat right now, who's watching. Those who are watching the replay, thank you so much for sticking it through the whole thing. And E, once again, thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate you so much. You do so much for the community, and you always keep it 100%. You know what I mean? No flim-flamming. So we appreciate you for that. And and Justin, of course, you already know, the homie. I'll let you take it out.
Yeah, man. So again, appreciate everybody. 14 people hanging out with us. We'll be back again Tuesday, same time, 7:30. We'll have another guest with us, another hot topic, something fun to talk about. So appreciate you guys. If you guys are watching this replay right now, leave a comment in the comment section below. We are curious to see where you guys stand on the on this topic that we talked about tonight. So always appreciate that, and sub everybody up. And there's Clintar right now. What's up, man? Yeah, catch the replay, brother. Appreciate you. All right, guys, we are out of here. We'll talk to you guys.